This is beyond fairy tale. It's inconceivable.
There it is. Doyle's done it.
Eastgate steps into poker history.
This is the greatest tournament in the world.
This is the 40th Annual World Series of Poker. And that's 40 years of history.
Dewey wins the tournament.
Record-breaking accomplishment.
Helmuth wins the championship.
Lasting memories.
Your car gonna be all over, baby.
Chip Reese has done it.
That's 40 years of
Money.
money.
Money maker.
This is beyond fairy tale. It's inconceivable.
Excitement.
Drama.
That's 40 years of
Life-changing moments.
Joseph Hashem, Peter Eastgate.
Fun, baby. Powerful personalities.
Poker Pro.
Poker brats. I can dodge bullets, baby.
heartache. It's 40 years of going.
All in.
All in.
Going back to back.
Johnny Chan, the master.
Bracelet.
There it is. Doyle's done it.
The main event.
The main event.
A chance at history. A chance at greatness.
This is.
This is the World Series of Poker.
The next 40 years begins right now.
The biggest poker spectacle on the planet is back.
WSOP, baby, the World Series, the first day.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rio Hotel and Casino for the World Series of Poker presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky.
What's up?
Alongside Norman Chan, I'm Lon McCarran. 2009 marks the 40th Annual World Series, and to celebrate, a special event was added, a $40,000 buy-in no-limit hold'em tournament that attracted the best players in the world.
How you doing? What's up, people?
To kick things off, the reigning main event champion, Peter Eastgate, unveiled his banner. And when action began, 201 players created the largest non-main event prize pool in World Series history, a staggering $7.7 million. And after 3 grueling days of play, we're down to the final 9. The Rio Poker Room is packed, the stands are crowded, the fans hoping to get a glimpse of history in the making. And there is the pile of cash, nearly $2 million to the winner. Norman, let's look at our final table players.
Ted Forrest may be the short stack with only 2% of the chips, but he is one of the most feared players in the game.
The second shortest, Noah Schwartz from Florida, will start with $660,000 in chips.
Donnie Stern not only has the title of professional poker player, but also that of poker coach, and he now has over 1.3 million chips. Justin Bonomo just missed out on his first bracelet in 2008, and now is considered one of the game's up-and-coming stars.
Alec Torelli finished second last year to Kenny Tran in the 10K Heads-Up Championship. He now has around 2.4 million in chips. This is the 6th final table for the 04 main event champion Greg Raymer, who's looking to win bracelet number 2. Third in chips is Lex Velduis. This pro from the Netherlands has almost 4 million in chips.
Besides Ted Forrest and Greg Raymer, Vitaly Lunkin from Russia is the only other player with a World Series of Poker bracelet. He won his last year. And all the players are chasing this man, chip leader Isaac Haxton. This is his 3rd final table, and he has 6 million in chips.
And there is the golden carrot at the end of the stick. To win one is an amazing accomplishment, whether you're a World Series rookie or seasoned pro.
Someday I'm going to get me one of those around my wrist.
Does that come off?
No, this is a pretty standard bracelet.
I'm not into jewelry, so I don't know what's standard.
What? Not into jewelry. You got bling on both arms.
That's not just everyday bling. That's a World Championship bracelet.
But the person with the most bling at the table is 5-time bracelet winner Ted Forrest.
We begin with the blinds at 30 and 60,000, 5,000 chip ante from each player, and on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Pocket Cam,
I love beef jerky.
Ted Forrest with Jack 9. The short stack will fold. Noah Schwartz says no thanks. Action folds over to the chip leader, Isaac Haxton, for Trey. He folds.
This event attracted a lot of young internet sensations who happen to have $40,000 lying around.
Greg Raymer with ace-8 offsuit. He starts the final table 4th in chips, and he puts in a raise of $150,000.
You know what type of fossil that is, Lon?
I am not sure.
I believe it is a Silurian limestone.
Thank you. Bonomo with ace-jack.
I'm all in.
And he moves all in. A re-raise to 1.44 million from the small blind.
Bono with between 20 and 25 big blinds left. No reason for Raymer to get involved here with the weak ace unless he thinks Bonomo's making a move for all his chips.
I call.
He must think that and calls.
Oops. Thought you had any 2 cards.
And Raymer will be in trouble and dominated. Greg's wife Cheryl on the right, his mom Nancy on the left. And this might be a short stay for Justin's mom Cindy and stepfather John in the stands. Justin looking for his jack kicker to save his day.
Maybe you didn't bluff me yesterday as much as I thought you did.
I always have it. I would never bluff you. I'm a nice guy.
Nice guys are allowed to bluff.
Well, the nice guy's all in, but he's in great shape here, a 70-30 favorite.
All right, here is our flop. It is King 6-5. Bonomo's kicker holds up.
It's a 5 of hearts, I think. Just hopeful. Just wishful thinking. I wish it was the
Jack of hearts is on the turn.
If Raymer does not knock Bonomo out, he's going to lose almost half his chip stack here.
Turn card now, deuce of spades.
Horrible turn card. Doesn't add any excitement.
Oh, I'll add some excitement, huh? Raymer's going to need an 8. And an 8 only to knock out the 23-year-old internet sensation. His parents on pins and needles over in the gallery.
That's enough.
Will the 8 come or will it not?
Not. The jack kicker will be good enough for Bonomo to double up.
No 8 long. No 8 long.
The Bonomos celebrate. The Raymers take it in stride. But it was quite a hit to the chip stack of Greg Raymer.
1.1.
No, I don't know who those people are.
You better take any support you can at the final table, Justin. That double up for Bonomo instantly puts him in a position to put some pressure on the chip leader at this special $40,000 no-limit Hold'em Championship.
For the 40th year, it's shuffle up and deal at the World Series of Poker. And Norman, it's hard to dispute that. It is better than ever. This $40,000 no-limit Hold'em event attracted a most impressive field, generating the largest prize pool this side of the main event.
Lon, $1.9 million to the winner is a whole lot of cash, and this bracelet has a whole lot of cachet. Ted Forrest has 5 bracelets, but he knows this one would be special. Greg Raymer yearns for a second bracelet. This one would cement his legacy. And Justin Bonomo's been waiting for his breakout moment. Winning a bracelet, especially this bracelet, would announce his arrival.
Justin's 2 previous final table appearances have earned him 4th and 2nd place finishes.
With such a high buy-in, you'd expect nothing but seasoned pros, but we have a lot of internet money here, 620-somethings. This is a young table, an unknown table, but it's a future of poker table.
Action on the oldest player at the table, 44-year-old Greg Raymer with 6-8, and he mucks those. And there's 25-year-old Lex Velduis from Rotterdam, Netherlands. He puts in a raise of $175,000. His girlfriend is poker pro Evelyn Ng behind the FTW sign there. So now Donnie Stern on the button with a raise to him.
Stern, 22 years old.
Ace-Jack.
Come on.
And he moves all in for almost $1.5 million total. Small blind Lunkin gives it up now to the big blind short stack Ted Forrest.
Ted, nicknamed Professor Backwards for making unorthodox moves at the table.
Jack 4. And he will forfeit his blind.
I call.
And Veldhuis will make the call to put Stern at risk. And Stern will hope his ace-jack is enough to keep him around, much like Justin Bonomo.
Go Lex.
It's poker pro Karina Jett in Lex's corner.
Well, Bonomo's ace-jack had Raymer dominated, but Stern's ace-jack is dominated by Veldhuis. See, Lonnie, the ace-jack pretty much encompasses all of life's ups and downs.
Somebody say they folded Jack.
That did.
He asked me what I folded.
Because he looked like he actually might have had a reasonably playable hand.
The first card I looked at was the good one.
That's why I look at both cards at the same time. I want all the good or bad news at once.
One of Stern's outs is gone. We know that. Here's the flop. 5, ace, 9, 2 hearts. Veldhuis still best with a king kicker.
Lex looks uncomfortable, but Stern even a bigger dog now, looking for a jack or running hearts.
Turn card, queen of hearts.
Lex's pips are a little pipped out by that time.
Veldhuis does not sit easy.
Donnie Stern working the gum. Needs a jack or heart on the river or he's done.
Now the river card is a jack! The unlikely jack saves Donnie Stern.
No, the pips are pipped. Veldhuis loses 40% of his chip stack. My heart's already pumping, Lon, and we just started.
A shifting of power at this table.
It's okay. It's not like we're playing for millions of dollars.
No, it's not
or anything. No big deal. We're all friends here. Nobody actually cares who wins.
Bonomo tries to keep the mood light, but with the year's first bracelet and millions on the line, this is indeed serious business.
The 2009 World Series of Poker is presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. And in part by WSOP.com. Sign up for the official WSOP e-newsletter at WSOP.com and FullTiltPoker.net. Learn, chat, and play with the pros. The World Series of Poker, 40th Annual Memories.
There it is. Doyle's done it.
At the World Series of Poker, it's really not about the money, it's about the bracelets that you win.
You can get 2 bracelets. You're darn sure a good poker player.
2 is doable. Someone's going to win 2. Back to back.
I'm just amazed by anyone that can win 3 bracelets in a year. That kind of stands out to me as just being remarkable.
In 1993, I won 3 bracelets, and Ted Forrest the same year won 3 bracelets. And then Phil Ivey had 3 bracelets in 1 year. Pretty incredible accomplishments.
The poker masses have begun their colonization of the Rio. Maybe one of them will win 3 bracelets this year.
Only 4 have ever done it. The first was Puggy Pearson in 1973.
57 gold bracelets will be handed out at this year's World Series of Poker. Ted Forrest trying to join Men the Master, TJ Cloutier and Lane Flack with 6 bracelets. Right now, Forrest is the short stack. He's got a long way to go for that 6th bracelet. Isaac Haxton with about a quarter of the chips in play. Donnie Stern's double-up has him in 3rd position right now.
We've got 6 young guys, 2 older guys, and the Russian.
Action on Greg Raymer. The 04 champ looks down at King Trey.
Raymer was a 3-time racquetball champion at the University of Missouri.
He will not compete in this hand to Russian Vitaly Lunkin, 38 years old from Moscow. He'll fold 7-6. Now to Ted Forrest, Jack 10 in the small blind.
Really?
And Ted will limp in. Noah Schwartz now from Miami Beach with pocket trays, couple of black 3s.
A lot of people tell Noah he looks like McLovin from Superbad.
A raise to 190,000. Action back to Ted now. This would put him all in if he wants to call.
Not sure what Ted's thinking about. Only 130,000 chips left. I guess he's wondering if there's a better spot he can get his money in if he waits. Now I think he's looking back for me to see if I can help him.
Now all his chips move as one. He does call all in. His Jack 10 will need to improve against the pocket trays of Schwartz.
But this is a pretty good spot for Ted Forrest. 2 live cards, a race against a small pocket pair.
Either way.
No, I'm surprised you didn't shove.
You're not folding, right?
No, I'm not folding, but if I have deuce 9.
If you check it, now I could bet the flop in if you don't hit.
Well, think about it. McLovin is questioning one of the best no-limit players of all time.
Ted hoping to save a bullet for post-flop play, but Schwartz forced the action with his pocket pair. Now, with Ted all in, here's the flop. 9, king, deuce, all spades, taking some outs from Ted, but he's got a gut shot straight draw.
Still 6 outs.
6 outs? He's got a spade.
I know. Instead of 3 10s and 3 jacks, you got the queens. You lost the 10
Still
jacks.
a bad flop.
Yeah.
Terrible flop.
Yeah, it is a bad flop for Ted. As you mentioned, he picked up the gut shot, but Schwartz now with the spade draw.
How about just a king and a 9?
Turn card now is an 8 of hearts, and Ted picked up some outs there.
And now an up and down straight draw. Queen or a 7 makes that straight.
I think I'd take a redraw.
Schwartz trying to knock out one of the greats of the game.
Well, Ted now needs a non-spade, queen, jack 10, or 7 to stick around.
River card. It's a blank, and Noah Schwartz wins the hand. Ted Forrest is the first player knocked off this special 40K no-limit championship. He'll take home over $230,000.
Forrest made 2 final tables in 08. He starts 2009 with another final table, but bracelet number 6 will have to wait.
Noah Schwartz picks up a bit of momentum in his uphill climb. Ted Forrest may not be the most boisterous player out there, but his poker skills are greatly respected. A strong start to the 2009 World Series for Ted Forrest.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky, 40K Championship.
Back inside the Rio, where Noah Schwartz, who just knocked off Ted Forrest, is now all in.
What a cold day.
Noah moved all in with ace-king. He's against the aces of Greg Raymer.
I can't lose with my mom here.
That's right.
Hey, my mom used to follow me everywhere, and I always lost.
Raymer looking very comfortable with his pocket aces against the ace-king. Schwartz at risk. Now the flop, 8 Jack 7. Not the flop Schwartz was looking for.
Good game, good game. I'm pretty much drawing stone cold.
He's looking for running kings here, or a 9 and a 10 would put a straight on the board and they'd split the pot.
They pick up aces there. So sick.
Yeah, a lot of bad luck there for Schwartz. Turn card will not do it. He is drawing dead and eliminated in 8th place.
A great showing for the 25-year-old Miami Beach pro, his 3rd World Series cash.
And biggest one by far.
Yeah, I got one of them.
And Raymer took a hit early, but he's now on the uptick. The 2004 main event champ knows how to play through big fields as well as anyone in poker, but getting through this small but elite field to win his 2nd bracelet might be his biggest challenge to date.
This was definitely the toughest field I've ever faced, of any size. Every table to start was a table of death. To make it to the final table of this event, now that means a lot. If I have any edge at this final table, it's not that I'm a greater player than these people, it's that I've been there before. And I'm less likely to lose control of my emotions and make an emotional decision rather than a purely intellectual decision.
I don't know. Am I playing that bad or are you running that good?
I definitely want another bracelet. There's hundreds of people that have won 1 bracelet. But once you even get to 2, you're not talking about a very small club. And if I don't come out on top, I'm happy with how I played, so I can't lose.
Fossilman says you can't force it in poker, you've got to let it come. With 6 final tables in the last 6 World Series, he's let it come nicely.
After that last win, Raymer in 5th position with about 2.8 million chips. Haxton still leads the way. Vitaly Lunkin remains in 2nd place. Action on Isaac Haxton with the blinds at 40 and 80,000. Pocket jacks.
When Isaac first started online, he played 25-cent, 50-cent limit hold'em.
A raise to 225,000 for the Las Vegas resident. Raymer with pocket 6s. Likes about any pocket pair here. Raymer will make the call.
He had 2 other options there. Do you know what they were, Lon?
Fold or raise.
You see, people say we don't know what we're talking about. You're absolutely right.
Puts the fossil to work. I'm glad they don't call him Lizard Eyes Man. It just doesn't have the same ring. Lunkin folds from the big blind.
And you see, Lizard Eyes Man will not look at the flop. He'll just look at Isaac Haxton, who's worth looking at.
Now the flop, 9-6-5. Raymer hits a set. Haxton first to act. He's got to think that was a pretty safe flop for him. He checks.
I like Isaac's measured, methodical checking motion.
400.
Raymer bets his set, perhaps hoping Haxton will think that he's trying to steal the pot.
I like when Raymer bets 400,000. He says 400.
All in.
I call.
Raymer calls all in just how he planned it.
Moves all in.
Set. 3 6s.
I told him you had 3 9s. I apologize.
Raymer looking to double up and take over the chip lead.
Boy, talk about getting the blood flowing. Whew.
Oh, there's 2005 world champ Joe Hashem hugging Cheryl Raymer.
Those main event champion families always stick together.
All right, the turn card. Raymer still at risk. There's a 5. Raymer with 6s, full of 5s now.
Well, that doesn't really change anything for Isaac Haxton. Haxton still needs a jack to knock out the 2004 world champion.
Deuce ball.
Now the river card. The king is like a deuce. Raymer will win the hand and double up. Raymer got lucky on the flop, followed it up with a skillful play, and now he is the new chip leader.
I wonder if the Raymers and Hashems spend Flag Day together in the U.S. or Australia.
The birds. Tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet.
Well, Isaac Haxton stoically watches about 2.8 million of his chips shipped to his neighbor.
Haxton tumbles to 3rd place, while Greg Raymer is the new chip leader at this championship table. The 40K PGA Championship is not the only event to celebrate the 40th Annual World Series of Poker. Today is also day one of the World Champions Invitational. 33 different players have won the main event, and 20 of them have arrived to play here today. This unprecedented collection of champions gathered for pictures before competing for the title Champion of Champions.
Amarillo Slim sitting next to Doral Brunson, sitting next to Johnny Chan. I'm not sitting down at that table.
While the 40K event's on a short break, Raymer will play a few hands at this Champions event.
What's happening to the $2 million tournament? Why are you here?
I'm leaving now. I'm leaving right now, and they're going to restart it.
Well, good luck. I hope I don't see you for another 8 hours.
So the fossil is me.
We'll have complete coverage of that Champions event final table on ESPN next week. Talk about a dangerous final table. Every player a world champion.
Have fun, guys. I'll be back.
Fossil Man multitasking. You know, I think he's also headlining at Caesars tonight with Jerry Seinfeld.
Raymer seems to be headlining here in the Rio Poker Room, and he is headlining the final 7 players. He's the chip leader with 5.7 million chips. That's about a quarter of the chips in play. Lunken still in second place. Lex Velduis took a hit early on and has not been heard from since. And he will fold here. Action folds around to the Russian Lunken.
I haven't seen him play a hand. Apparently he's here for the weather.
Alec Torelli with Queen 10 offsuit.
Alec has a list of 25 things he wants to do before he's 25. It includes visiting 10 new countries and reading 50 new books. I couldn't do either before I was 50. Good luck.
Torelli with a raise to 205,000.
Alec also wants to write a book, own a house, and host a radio talk show. I've done that stuff. Big deal.
Bonomo with ace tray of hearts makes the call for the big blind. And these two will see a flop. Flop is 6-6-8. Bonomo with a flush draw. Torelli got no help.
2 online phenoms go up against each other.
Bonomo's ace keeps him in the lead. He checks. Torelli will bet it. He hopes 285,000 will end the hand.
Well, maybe on his list of 25 things to do before he's 25 is to bluff Justin Bonomo post-flop.
All in.
Wow, an all in from Bonomo and an immediate fold from Torelli.
Yeah, good read by Justin Bonomo. Torelli could not swaggle-foose him.
Justin Bonomo is widely regarded as a great up-and-coming star of the game, a lofty title to live up to for someone who was once just part of the swarm of online players.
Last year after I got second in the 5K mixed hold'em to Eric, he came up to me and he said,
For the future of poker, you're going to be a good representative now.
it certainly means a lot to me that guys like Eric Lindgren have respect for me. I'm just, I'm some kid that played poker online for a few years.
Read you like a book.
I think I'm kind of like a rare breed of player where I got my training online for sure, but I still consider myself a live player. From the second I heard they were having a 40K, it never once crossed my mind that I wouldn't play it. It's right up my alley.
Not like that river card. I was hoping you had king queen. So.
I've come so close to winning so many tournaments. It's kind of like I still have to get the monkey off my back. Winning this tournament, it's like a double bonus. Like, obviously, I'd get a bracelet from it, but it's the 40th anniversary. I'd go down in history.
Justin attended the University of Maryland for one semester. That's not long enough to be considered a Terp. He's on his own.
You, a full-blooded Terp, know of which you speak. Lunken will sit this out, as does Torelli. Haxton says no thanks, on to Greg Raymer. Raymer, the chip leader, with pocket kings.
200.
And a raise to 200,000. On goes the battle garb. Bonomo.
All Terps know that's not a good hand. 9 tray.
Veldhuis now. Ace-7 of diamonds.
All in.
And moves all in.
Veldhuis with about 15 big blinds left decides a suited ace is enough to take a stand.
And Raymer will call with his kings.
Well, it could be worse, could be better for Lex. At least he gets Raymer to take off the doofus glasses.
Raymer with a shot at another knockout.
70-30.
Actually, it's about 67-33. Even Mrs. Raymer knows that.
Come on, Lex.
Razzie is Lex's screen name. Evelyn holding the acronym for the win.
Oh, well, 30%.
33%. Look at the screen. Jeez.
Now the flop. It is Jack 6 deuce. That is one bad flop for Lex.
Yeah, nothing there to Lex's liking. He's 13% now. I did the math.
Lex looking for help on the turn. Turn card, Queen of Clubs, and now he's down to his last card.
I see him carrying a number. Blah, 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 blah. Lex down to a 7% chance of survival now. He needs an ace and an ace only, or he is whamboozled.
River card is a 10. Raymer wins it with pocket kings and knocks out Lex Velduis in 7th place.
Veldhuis with his 5th World Series cash, and in his first final table, he never could get anything going.
There is no joy in Lexville. He will take consolation in the form of about $278,000 and a hug from Evelyn Ng. Greg Raymer now has set the stage to pull off a remarkable double, adding this special 40K bracelet to his World Championship.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky, 40K Championship.
Welcome back inside the Rio, where Alec Torelli is all in and behind with 1 card to come against Isaac Haxton, who holds the bigger ace.
With an 8 jack or queen on the river, they'd split the pot. With a deuce, Torelli would take it all. Otherwise, he's gone.
River card now is a 5. That's not going to do it for Torelli, who has gone in 6th place.
Great, Alec. Pleasure playing with you.
Well, now Alec can hike Bryce Canyon National Park, one of the 25 things he wants to do before he's 25. But if I were him, I would take his winnings, buy a car, and drive through that park.
So Isaac Haxton does the deed. He collects the last million or so of Torelli's chips. And Haxton now with 4.6 million chips. Greg Raymer continues to lead the way in this 40K title. Lunkin holds steady in 2nd place. Donnie Stern, the short stack, in the most danger right now.
With the chip lead 5-handed, I would not bet against Greg Raymer at this point.
Isaac Haxton with 9-7 offsuit.
Haxton says he's more patient in the tournament endgame than he used to be, but looks like he's going to get a little impatient here with 9-7 off.
He does make a raise to $225,000. Raymer now with Queen Jack of Clubs.
Raymer on the button, so he knows he's going to have position.
And he'll make the call. Bonomo, the small blind, gives it up. Donnie Stern will fold, so Raymer and Haxton heads up again. Now the flop is ace, Trey ace. Neither player has an ace.
You know what's the best way to combat the Raymer stare down?
Tell me.
Tickle him. Go for the ribs.
Haxton, with less than nothing, bets a $500,000.
Well, that's not a bad tactic. Miss the flop and bluff him.
Raymer missed the flop, too.
Oh, I feel like you'll fold, but you got a better hand than me.
Isaac would have folded, but he didn't have a better hand.
Just felt like I could get away with a bluff there for some reason.
Isaac takes the pot.
Oh, well. Maybe next time, right?
Either player could have gone away with a bluff there. Haxton was the one who sniffed out weakness.
And the aggressive gamer Haxton took it down, reminding the table he is a threat to be reckoned with.
I've always been really into games as long as I can remember. I started playing chess when I was 4, started playing a game called Magic the Gathering when I was about 13. As I grew up, switched over to poker, where you can actually make some money playing games all day.
Nice hand.
I went to college at Brown. I was a computer science major there for 3 years, but burnt out on all of it. I would go into the computer lab and I'd sit down in front of the computer to code, and I'd realize half an hour had gone by and the screen was still blank. I failed all my classes and took a year off and played poker full time. Had a very good year poker-wise and fully made up my mind that playing poker is so much more fun than coding.
Didn't like the pain, but I'll take it.
I'm happy to have made the final table. I'm trying to just keep myself in the moment and focus on winning it. This is one that'll be remembered.
Isaac and close friend Justin Bonomo have both made 2 televised final tables together here at the World Series. They both live in the same condo complex in Las Vegas, and they both play Magic the Gathering.
And are both still very much in the running for their first World Series bracelet. Action on Isaac. Call him Ike, his friends do. 6 tray. He folds that.
I don't play Magic the Gathering, Lon, because I've never done well in any type of gathering.
Raymer with Queen 5 offsuit and a raise to 250, 2.5 times the big blind.
And by the way, Raymer, when he won the 04 event, he was aggressive. He remains aggressive.
Bonomo.
700.
Suited King 7 with a raise to 700,000.
Bonomo has picked off Raymer here, smelling weakness.
Donnie Stern folds a small blind now to the big blind. Lunkin with pocket nines.
Pretty good hand, but 2 raises in front of him. What does he do?
The Russian looks like he's going to work with that big card protector and his sunglasses.
Wow, he has Fossil Man out card protectored and out sunglassed and outclassed in terms of these hands.
2 million.
Lunkin will re-raise to $2 million.
He doesn't speak much English, but he speaks $2 million. He smells weakness and puts in a 3rd raise.
Looking supporters on pins and needles now as their man has just re-raised Fossil Man and Bonomo Man.
Well, Greg says see ya, and Justin is going to say see ya as well, I think.
Now Bonomo's just making a show right here.
Yeah, you're right.
And he does give it up. There is a good lesson on how to play pocket 9 short-handed from the Russian. That was gutsy.
No 3. Please. Very big player. Very big bear. The
So
biggest.
Lunkin with the 3rd raise picked off both Bonomo and Raymer.
Is that the Russian flag, Bartelli?
From what? The Soviet Union?
Yeah, the Soviet Union.
Yes, it's no longer the Soviet Union, Greg.
Let's have a hammer and a sickle on it.
Yeah, I'm just not even thinking. You know?
There
I'm just
still
like,
is a Soviet Union. Trust me, I'm on top of it.
Yes. Oh, well. If I'm going to fail, you know.
Greg, you need members of our generation to tell you about it?
Yeah, I guess so.
The Russian flag waves highest right now at this championship table. Vitaly Lunkin has made the leap to chip leader. Welcome back to the Rio. I love those old shots of Binions. Here's a good shot of our new chip leader, Vitaly Lunkin. 57 bracelets to be awarded during the 2009 World Series, including 1 for this brand new event. And we have a brand new element in this year's shows, the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Wild Card Hand of the Day. 1 player's cards will be concealed, and like the players at the table, you at home can try to figure out what they have. We'll start with Greg Raymer, and we see that he has 8-7 suited. Raymer will raise that up to $250,000.
Raymer aggressive under the gun.
Donnie Stern now will not play. There's our chip leader. He says no thanks.
Lunkin's appropriated enough American chips for the moment.
Oh, Isaac Haxton has the wild cards.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
6.7 million.
When someone asks for a count, that may tell Raymer he's thinking about making a move. Haxton might have a pocket pair or a big ace. Either way, it sounds like he may not want to see a flop. He could be thinking about pushing all in.
These two have comparable chip stacks. Haxton does make the call.
Well, now, if I'm Raymer, I might be worried that Isaac is trapping me with a really big hand.
So what do you folks at home think Haxton has? Now, here's the flop. It is 7-7-9. Raymer hits trips. Action on Isaac Haxton.
You know, the Raymer stare down wears on you, I believe. That alone makes it effective, but I hate it.
Haxton checks whatever he's got.
If I'm Raymer, I want to bet this flop because if I'm putting Haxton on a pocket pair, this is my chance to get some action.
Raymer checks.
Well, his check tells me that perhaps Raymer thinks Isaac's hand isn't as strong as we initially thought, and he wants to keep the bait on the hook.
Another 9 gives Raymer a full boat.
Well, if Isaac has a small pocket pair or an ace, he's playing the board right now.
Action on Isaac Haxton. Haxton checks again.
Raymer's got to get busy. He's running out of streets to make some money.
Raymer putting chips together. He bets $350,000.
Fossil Man waits no longer. He's got to figure he has Haxton trapped. You know, unless Haxton has like an ace-9 in his hand, and then he's the one slow playing a monster.
Isaac putting some chips together, though. He must have a little something. He makes the call.
You know what that call tells me, Lon?
What?
I have absolutely no idea. I don't know what Isaac has.
River card now is another 9, and Raymer's full boat is counterfeited by the board.
Oh, if I'm Raymer, I'm dying here because he's probably looking at a chopped pot now with Haxton playing the board. And if Haxton has a 9 in his hand, or say a big pocket pair, Raymer's lost the hand.
Haxton checks a 3rd time.
I love the way he checks. I don't think there's a lot of value in betting here if I'm Fossil Man.
750.
But he does bet $750,000.
Well, that bet tells me that Raymer thinks Haxton is just playing the board.
Folks at home have made their guess. What do you think Haxton has, Norman?
Well, at this point, I guess Haxton just has a small pocket pair. I don't like his body language much, and frankly, when you crack your knuckles, I don't think you have a monster.
Well, Haxton definitely seems like he's squirming in his seat.
It doesn't appear Raymer has to worry about a check raise at this point. Haxton looks like he can barely make the call.
Call. You got there.
Raymer's playing the board. Haxton had ace-queen, and they'll split it.
Wow.
I knew it all the time. Well, Haxton got lucky twice there. He's lucky Raymer didn't bet the flop. He might have folded, and very lucky the board rivered a full house.
And that was our Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand.
Oh, that was fun. We found a whole new way for me to sound stupid.
I can hear them explaining it to my mom back there. Wait, he has a...
Well, that was an interesting test for Greg Raymer and hopefully for you at home. And speaking of tests, we put some poker players to the test to celebrate the 40th Annual World Series of Poker in this edition of The Nuts.
Welcome to the 40th Annual World Series of Poker Trivia Show. Today's contestants are Doyle Brunson, Adam Schoenfeld, and David Plastic. And now, here is our host, Norman Chad.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Wink Martindale is on assignment, so I'll be steering the ship. Here are the categories: main men, dynamic duos, and famous firsts.
All right, I'll take famous first for 100.
This legend of the game was the first to win the main event once, twice, and 3 times. Adam Schoenfeld.
Johnny Moss.
Johnny Moss is correct. I knew you'd get the easy ones. These are the only 2 players to have won 3 main event titles. Adam.
Johnny Moss and Stu Unger, the kid.
Yet another easy one. You nail all the 100s.
That's not all I'm going to nail, Norman.
Dan Harrington.
Jerry Yang.
Jennifer Tilly and Phil Locke.
Joe Hashem. Jennifer Harmon.
Barbara Enright.
Dynamic duos for 200, Norman.
This is the name of Doyle's dog and Lucky Charm. Doyle, you were first.
Casper.
You are correct.
Famous first for 300.
My first wife left me because... David.
You play poker.
Incorrect. Any other guess?
You're a loser.
That is acceptable.
Oh, come on.
Adam Schoenfeld, in an upset, you have cashed once again. You are the winner, and we congratulate you. We'll see you during the next round of the World Series Trivia Show.
Congratulations.
Oh, Mr. Game Show host now, huh? Tie and everything.
It's tougher than it looks, Lon. Makeup, research, the media, game show, groupies.
It must be tough to be Norman Chad these days. I'm not sure about the trivia game payouts, but I do know the winner of this event will pocket almost $1.9 million. The next player out wins $413,000. All right, on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky.
Beef jerky.
Pocket Cam Raymer with pocket 7s. A raise to $200,000. Justin Bonomo, ace-8 offsuit.
Justin's aggressive with great instincts.
But he'll give up the ace-8. Donnie Stern from the small blind, ace-10.
Stern thought he would go to college, work in an office, and be one of those guys. Instead, he is one of these guys playing for almost $2 million.
Come on. Oh, playing for a lot more chips right now as he moves all in.
Stern with 20 big blinds left, pushes with an ace.
Big blind Lunken folded, back now to Raymer.
And Fossil Man concerned that he might be up against a big pocket pair.
I'm not thrilled, but I call.
And Greg will call and put Donnie Stern at risk.
It's a race and a big one. 4.2 million chips in the middle.
I bet Mama Raymer knows that 2 7s is the best hand right now. And so do Donnie Stern's supporters.
Well, Stern was all in earlier and behind with an ace. He's all in again and behind with an ace, looking to get lucky again.
And now the flop. Couple of queens and a 4. Stern in a deep hole.
The look of 2 guys waiting on Judgment Day.
A win here for Raymer would put him back in the chip lead with 4 players left. Turn card is a 6. Stern 1 card for being our 5th place finisher.
Donnie Stern looking for an ace or a 10, or he is out of here at the hands of Greg Raymer.
Okay, one time.
Here's a river card. Oh, what time indeed! He spikes the 10 to double up.
The come-from-behind kid today.
And Greg Raymer will have to hand over about $2 million of his chips.
Well, the Raymer contingent's been around the block and knows you can't win them all.
Donnie Stern says, I'm not ready to go home from this special 40K event.
Well, Donnie Stern is a poker coach, Lon. Might he teach how to go all in with the worst of it and win?
It worked for him.
Well, now I got to wait for my driving range.
What's that?
Like 3 years ago, I said I wanted an indoor driving range. I wasn't going to get myself one until I won $500,000 or more in a single event.
Greg will need to finish at least fourth to get his wish. He took a hit, but he's still strong at this final table.
The 2009 World Series of Poker is presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. And in part by WSOP.com. Get official items for your home poker game at WSOP.com.
Welcome back inside the Rio Poker Room, where the Champions Invitational event is still going on, minus Greg Raymer, for the moment at least.
Greg, they're playing for a Corvette in that tournament, right?
Winner take all, one Corvette.
If I were Raymer, I'd sell the Corvette and buy a huge fossil truck with GPS.
It's a red Corvette, though. Isaac Haxton looks down at 9-6 offsuit.
Like his buddy Justin Bonomo, Isaac says he's better at poker than at Magic. Magic, though, has been quite a breeding ground for a lot of good poker players.
Isaac getting shifty. He made the same raise to 225, playing 9-7 earlier. Raymer with pocket fives will come along.
Raymer on the button, just calls the raise.
Folded over to Donnie Stern after a nice double up that brought him back to life. Jack 10 offsuit.
Donnie says his 2009 goal is to play 500,000 hands of poker and make at least $1.50 a hand. You do the math, Lon.
That would take only about 3 days for these internet guys. Stern will see the flop for a discounted price, going against Raymer and Haxton. The flop now, 7-ace-8. Stern flops a gut shot straight draw. Haxton an up and down straight draw. Raymer still leads with the pocket fives. Stern checked, Haxton checked, and Raymer checks.
Well, they all checked, but none checks as sublimely as Isaac.
There's a 4 of hearts. Haxton still with the up and down straight draw. Raymer adds a gut shot straight draw. Stern adds a flush draw to his straight draw.
450.
And Stern will lead out with 450,000.
I agree with that bet. He could pick up the pot right here. If he gets called, he can still make his hand on the river. If he gets raised, he can get out of dodge if he wants.
Haxton is the one on the horse getting out of dodge. Now Raymer.
Raymer's got the best hand with the pocket fives, but not sure he wants to gamble here.
He wins.
Indeed, Raymer will give it up, and Donnie Stern pads his stack with chips from Raymer and Haxton.
Gotta wait for the tide to turn so I can beat him.
Greg afraid to commit too many chips right there. Donnie Stern continues to hang in there. And with that gold bracelet sitting tantalizingly close, we see he is third in chips. Lunkin continues to lead. Greg Raymer in second place. Justin Bonomo, the short stack right now. And there is Bonomo. Looks down at pocket jacks.
Those are the Lon McCarron Memorial pocket jacks. You never win with them.
A raise to 250,000. Donnie Stern folds. Lunkin.
I think Lunkin's done for the day.
Yeah, King 5 into the muck. Isaac Haxton now. Oh, pocket aces.
Pocket aces in the small blind. Hello, sunshine.
And he will just make the call.
They say with aces, you either win a small pot or lose a big pot. Haxton's trying to win a bigger pot here, hoping Raymer comes along. And Fossil Man's thinking, 4-1 on my money. Let's see a flop.
And Raymer will make the call, hoping to hit the flop big. So 3 players, Haxton with pocket aces against Bonomo's jacks. And a 5-4 for Raymer. The flop is tray 9-10. It's all good for Haxton and his pocket aces.
That's a safe-looking flop for aces or jacks, but there are flush and straight possibilities out there, so you might want to bet them out now.
Haxton will try to do just that with a pot-sized bet.
Fold.
Raymer folds.
Well, with that pot-sized bet, Isaac makes it look as if he's trying to push people out, like he's on a draw or a marginal hand. And now the two buddies bumping heads with a lot of money on the line.
I'm all in.
Yeah. Bonomo loves his jacks until now. His friend Isaac Haxton poised to knock Bonomo out.
Well played by Haxton. Bonomo in dire straits for his tournament life.
Come on, Jack.
Each man at their third World Series final table. It appears Haxton will outlast Bonomo here.
The two condo neighbors bickering over chips here, and Haxton in great position to knock Bonomo out.
Turn card now. 2 of diamonds. That's no help to Justin Bonomo.
They first met in 2007 when Isaac busted Justin out in 11th at a WPT event in which Haxton finished second. Isaac trying to bust Justin again. Bonomo has to have a jack.
An ace on the river, and Isaac Haxton sends Justin Bonomo to the rail in 5th place.
Good luck. Thank you.
Another great showing for Justin Bonomo. Another big disappointment.
A key knockout for Haxton, and the rest of the table has to be relieved.
I thought you were the best player at the table.
Geez, every time this guy goes bust, someone says something nice to him.
Driving range. I get my indoor driving range.
Yep, each of the 4 remaining players guaranteed more than $500,000 in this special $40,000 championship event. Greg Raymer will get his driving range now that Isaac Haxton has eliminated his good friend, Justin Bonomo.
I'm pretty disappointed. $1.8 million for first. I really wanted that bracelet, but what are you going to do?
There's one bracelet and millions of dollars still up for grabs. We'll see you next time as we award the first bracelet of 2009. For Norman Chad, I'm Lon McCarran. Thanks for watching the World Series of Poker.
Double up the deal.
Raymer wins it all.
Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy!
I can dodge bullets, baby.
This is beyond fairy tale. It's inconceivable.
There it is. Doyle's done it. Skate steps into poker history.
This is the greatest tournament in the world.
201 of the greatest players in the world came to determine the best of the best. And when the final table was set, 9 were left vying for this once-in-a-lifetime bracelet. And now we are down to 4. 2004 world champion Greg Raymer has reached the pinnacle of poker. And now looks to cement his legacy by besting the toughest no-limit field ever.
I'm just going to be happy that in such an important tournament, I was able to come out on top.
But standing in his way is one Russian looking for his second bracelet. And 2 young Americans hoping to prove that the future of poker has arrived.
This is the toughest field in the highest buy-in no-limit tournament in the history of poker. Who wouldn't want to win that?
One time.
Can Raymer reach the promised land again?
Yeah, I got one of them.
Or will the face of No Limit Hold'em be a new one? The bracelet, $1.9 million, and a poker legacy are all on the line. Welcome to the 2009 World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. I'm Lon McCarran with Norman Chad, and the Rio Poker Room is filled to capacity and buzzing with excitement for this special $40,000 buy-in No Limit Hold'em Championship to commemorate the 40th Annual World Series of Poker. The crowd here at this final table is raucous. Anticipation is building as we are on the cusp of seeing who will be our first champion of 2009 and which player will get to wear this prestigious bracelet and earn nearly $1.9 million. Norman, let's meet our final 4.
The short stack is 22-year-old New Yorker Donnie Stern. The poker coach has just 17% of the chips in play.
In 3rd place is Greg Raymer, who is looking for membership in the elusive Second Bracelet Club. He has nearly 6 million chips. Russian Vitaly Lunkin is looking for his second bracelet in as many years, and he is second in chips with about 7 million.
Isaac Haxton, one of the more successful online players, sits at 7.2 million and atop the leaderboard.
Winning early at the World Series is great for a player's mindset, but win this one in your year, maybe your career is set, almost $1.9 million.
We're at that stage of a tournament where the big blind is the starting stack.
Yep, just hit it.
Everyone here should be pretty happy.
I'm very happy, Lon, just sitting next to you.
The $40,000 buy-in got everyone 120,000 chips to start. The blinds are at 60 and 120,000, 15,000 chip ante from each. Action on chip leader Isaac Haxton and on our Jack Link's Beef Jerky pocket cam.
I love beef jerky.
He looks down at pocket 9s.
Haxton knocked out his close buddy Justin Bonomo earlier at this final table in 5th place. There's Justin watching.
keeping tabs on Isaac. And the aggressive 23-year-old will make it 3 times the big blind, a raise to $360,000. Ace deuce for Greg Raymer. Into the muck.
I would have played it.
Donnie Stern in the small blind. 9-5 into the muck.
I would have played it.
Vitaly Lunkin from Russia. 6-5 of spades.
He's pretty tight. Vitaly played backgammon tournaments for a couple of years, so he's sort of a Russian Dan Harrington. In fact, I think he's known as Action Vitaly back home.
But in his Raymer-esque way, Lunkin puts on the sunglasses. It looks like he's going to get busy in the big blind. And with 6-5 suited, he makes the call. So Haxton with his pocket pair against Lunkin's 6-5. And the flop is for King Trey Rainbow. Haxton's 9s are still best. Lunkin picked up an up and down straight draw. Lunkin checks.
Haxton in position. Can put out a small bet to find out if his opponent has a king.
Nope, he'll give the free turn card to his opponent. Turn card is a jack, no help to Lunkin. Lunkin checks, and that might give a green light to Isaac.
Well, Lunkin could have semi-bluffed after the flop or the turn. He declined both times.
$300,000 from Isaac Haxton.
That bet is small enough to almost price in Lunkin and have him chase his straight. He's getting almost 4-1 on his money to call here.
And he does indeed call. Hopes to get lucky on the river. And he does get lucky. Lunkin hits the nuts with the straight.
You wonder why I'm always worried about the Soviets? You see?
And he checks slyly this time.
Yeah, he's getting tricky. I would have overbet the pot there, Lon, making it look like a bluff. But instead, Lunkin thinks he can induce Haxton to take another stab at it.
With the pocket pair. Haxton plays it safe and checks.
Nuts.
The nuts, he says.
But Lunkin still doesn't look happy about it. A missed opportunity, perhaps.
I thought to have jack and bet on the river. Mistakes.
Cuban Missile Crisis was a mistake. That's just a poor poker play.
I hope that's how my pots go when I make a mistake.
Bet play, but we.
So Haxton takes a hit, and Vitaly Lunkin now takes the chip lead from the young pro, putting Vitaly in good position to claim his second World Series bracelet. But all 4 players certainly have enough chips to have a chance at this first bracelet of the 2009 World Series of Poker.
Norman, no main event champion since Carlos Mortensen has gone on to win a second gold bracelet. That's a 7-year drought that could end tonight. Greg Raymer is just 3 players away from snapping that dubious streak.
And what a moment it could be for Greg Raymer. He won it all in 2004 against a massive main event field. He then finished 25th in 05 in an even larger main event. And now, if he beats the most prestigious no-limit Hold'em field ever assembled, well, Lon, you just let me know when you find a fossil man who's racked up a better 5-year run under the brightest lights of the World Series.
Since Raymer won the World Championship in 04, he has been pining for his second bracelet.
Aces, please. Kings and kings for a couple of my opponents.
World champion shouldn't beg for pocket aces. It's beneath the crown.
All right, action will start on Donnie Stern, ace-5 offsuit.
Here's the poker coach, charges $650 an hour. Heck, he should be a divorce lawyer.
His brother is a lawyer and steams that Donnie makes a better hourly rate. He raises to $300,000, Lunkin with king-10 offsuit.
He has not played many pots, but when he plays, he is primed.
Makes the call. And yeah, he is aggressive, but selective aggression, unlike this unabashed aggression of Isaac Haxton with 9-7 offsuit.
Now, Isaac started playing live poker at the age of 18 in upstate New York at Turning Stone Indian Casino. As you mentioned, very aggressive.
Yeah, he does like to play, what would you say, a variety of starting cards?
Occasionally 9 high.
He'll play those and raise with them $1,050,000.
Well, Isaac senses weakness here and comes back over the top with nothing.
Greg Raymer in the big blind. Ace-8.
That's actually the best starting hand here, but he's got a call and 2 raises in front of him.
Raymer gives up his ace. Now Donnie Stern, who has ace-5. And he mucks as well. So Haxton's plan's working so far.
Now to Lunkin, who has just king-10.
All in.
Wow. Lunkin catches Haxton.
And oh, look, these Russians are already standing up for a fight. I don't like it.
Have to wonder if Lunkin has a read on Isaac.
Well, Lunkin doesn't have much, but Haxton's got squad douche. Lunkin does have some type of read. He's caught the aggressive youngster with his hand in the cookie jar, Lon, so the hand must come out of the cookie jar and be mucked.
Indeed, Isaac folds, and Lukin strengthens his chip lead at this final table. His fans love it.
I'm telling you, the last thing I want to see are Russians cheering on our home soil.
But with two bold plays, Vitaly Lukin has sent a strong message to his opponents. You have to go through me to win this first bracelet of 2009.
The 2009 World Series of Poker is presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. And in part by WSOP.com. Sign up for the official WSOP e-newsletter at WSOP.com and FullTiltPoker.net. Learn, chat, and play with the pros. The World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. 40K Championship.
Back at the Rio, 4 players left in the special 40K event. Former chip leader Isaac Haxton has lost some momentum, while Vitaly Lukin's star is rising as he hopes to continue a trend of foreign-born players winning bracelets. About 1/3 of the 2008 bracelets were won by foreign-born players, including Lukin. His supporters are urging him on here, and Lukin will tell you sometimes it's that push we get from a friend that can lead to great things.
В прошлом году я планировал играть первую половину СОПа в кеш. Потом в середине турнира, в середине чемпионата СОП, я по просьбе друзей сыграл по 1500 в турнире. Вот, и сразу выиграл. Вот, какое-то, с одной стороны, какое-то приятное чувство, но какое-то mistakes. Какое-то было в течение суток опустошение. Я после первых суток только почувствовал какую-то радость от проделанной работы. Очень трудный турнир сейчас. Нужно проявить максимум силы, качества, и тогда удача может мне сопутствовать. Но что я почувствую в этом случае, я не знаю. Поживем, увидим. Но в покере есть только одно место.
Lukin beat a field of 2,706 to win his bracelet. Greg Raymer, when he won the 2004 main event, beat a field of almost 2,600. So these guys know how to get through mega no-limit fields. This event, only 201 players, but 201 elite players.
Action folds to Greg Raymer. Queen 6 offsuit. He will not play.
I would have played it.
Donnie Stern. Ace Jack offsuit.
Stern has 10 clients, most of them pretty young, and all of them pay $650 an hour.
A raise to $360,000. King 9 for the big blind Vitaly Lukin.
This would be the battle of the blinds if Lukin comes in.
All signs point to that. The sunglasses and the card protector are in place.
You know, I use that same card protector when I play bingo.
Lukin does make the call, and Lukin hits his 9 on the flop to take the lead. Donnie Stern first to act. He does have 2 overs to the board.
500.
And he's going to make it $500,000.
I know the continuation bet makes sense, but when I make it, Lon, the other guy always calls, I start to twitch, and I'm toast on the turn.
Lukin does not twitch and makes the call.
Okay, so what's Donnie going to do on the turn?
Donnie hits a jack and takes the lead on the turn.
Well, that's different.
Lukin adds a gut shot straight draw to his 9s. Stern now slows down, checks.
So Donnie hits his card and checks. Go figure.
Lukin bets, hoping his 9s are good. $1 million.
Okay, well, Donnie's the poker coach. What would he tell himself to do here? He has top pair, top kicker right now.
I'm on.
There you go, coach. All in.
Check, raise, all in. Now I see why he can charge $650 an hour for lessons. He's 22. Get him before his rates go up.
We just learned that for free. Lukin will fold to the pressure from Stern, and a crafty play from Donnie earns him almost $1.5 million new chips.
He looks like Donnie Stern. He plays like Doyle Brunson.
Sick read or big hand?
Little column A, little column B.
That's a good answer.
Maybe it was just a pretty good hand with a pretty good read.
And with that win, Donnie Stern has leveled the playing field. Everyone stacks pretty even. Time now for our Jack Link's Beef Jerky wildcard hand, where one player's hole cards are not revealed, giving you at home the chance to test your reading skills. First to act is Greg Raymer, and the former world champ is the player holding the Jack Link's wildcards. Greg working with about 6 million chips in his stack, and he'll commit 300,000 here.
Well, four-handed's a lot different than a full table. Fossil Man under the gun could have anything here. He could be trying to steal. He's Greg Raymer. He didn't become a world champion by being passive.
Donnie Stern with ace-9 offsuit makes the call.
By calling here, that doesn't help us figure out what Raymer has. If Stern had raised, he'd have a better chance to find out what Fossil Man's holding, maybe even take down the pot right here. But Donnie's trying to disguise the fact that he has an ace, so if one hits on the flop, he can trap Raymer.
Both blinds folded, so Stern and Raymer heads up to the flop. And the flop is ace, tray, 4. Pair of aces for Stern.
Well, that's best case scenario for Donnie. Yeah, there are straight and flush possibilities out there, but he's hit his ace. Raymer had raised pre-flop. If I'm Donnie, I'm thinking Raymer may have, like pocket sixes.
Raymer will bet with whatever he has. Good enough for $500,000.
Well, if I'm Stern, I love that bet. Maybe Raymer has like a small pocket pair, and I certainly don't believe Raymer has anything to beat my aces, so I just want to call here and use the position I have to my advantage. Just call, Donnie.
Top pair, just calls.
Look, I'm coaching him.
Hey! Now he owes you $650. All right, turn card now is another 4. Ace is up for Stern.
Yeah, that changes nothing in all likelihood. Now, remember, I don't know what Raymer has. I'm sure he has good health insurance. He's a pretty smart guy. But if I'm Stern, I'm feeling I'm in great shape.
Raymer checks.
If I'm Donnie here, I might check right behind Raymer. It's not about how many pots you win. It's about how many chips you win in each pot. And if I think I've got Raymer beat, I want to keep him on the hook.
Guess Donnie thinks he's got him beat. He does check.
I love it, Lon. I'm giving this kid more lessons.
8 of clubs on the river.
That should be a complete blank. If I'm Donnie Stern, I've got to be thinking, I've got you, Fossil Man.
Fossil Man not checking this time. 1 million chips.
I don't like that. Really? That looks like a value bet. Did Raymer flop a set? Did he make trips on the turn? I'd be worried now.
Call.
Straight.
Wow. Raymer shows 5 deuce. He flopped the joint and got paid off.
Wow, indeed. Raymer raised pre-flop with 5 deuce. I never saw it coming. But again, if I'm Donnie, I'm kicking myself now for not re-raising pre-flop and taking it down when I could. And hey, Fossil Man got lucky on the flop, but then played it to a T.
And that is our Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand of the day, and Greg Raymer is back in the chip lead.
That's a sick flop.
Sunscreen, Greg. Sunscreen.
I don't know what that means.
You're on fire, I think.
Oh. Like sunscreen. I thought he was telling me like I was all pink or something.
Raymer might not be pink, but he's certainly flush with chips, and his quest for a second bracelet is full speed ahead.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. 40th Annual Memories.
Raymer wins it all!
I think the most unbelievable accomplishment was when Raymer won, and then the very next year he almost final tabled again.
Greg Raymer trying to go back-to-back.
Well, the first main event bracelet was pretty awesome. And then the next year, 25 players left. I would have given myself about a 15% chance of repeating. But instead, the deuce of hearts came on the river. I got knocked out a few hands later.
His remarkable run as defending champion is over.
It was a good run, but big difference between 300,000 and 7.5 million and possibly going down as the greatest poker player in history.
If Greg Raymer is able to complete his conquest of this small elite field, there will be no doubters to his greatness. Meanwhile, on the Rio's outer tables, another elite field that Raymer is also a part of, the Champions Invitational event. That tournament is down to 17. Former champs include Joe Hashem, Phil Hellmuth, Scotty Nguyen, two-time winners Johnny Chan and Doyle Brunson, and yes, they're leaving a seat for Greg Raymer. His fossil is being blinded off and waiting for him whenever his run at the 40K final table ends, but that might not be for a while, as Greg is the chip leader with only 4 players left. Former chip leader Isaac Haxton continues to fall. He is the short stack right now.
Well, if Raymer wins this and the Champions Invitational, which is underway and he's not even there yet, that would be quite a feat.
The blinds are now at 80 and 160,000. Raymer folded. Over to Donnie Stern. Donnie with pocket 5s.
Donnie says he likes to roll out of his bed in his boxers and start playing online. That's why I can't play online, Lon. I sleep in the buff.
TMI, TMI. A call for 160,000 from Stern. Lunken folds. Over to Isaac Haxton now. The suited king. King 7 of clubs.
I think Isaac sleeps in Simpsons pajamas. Just a hunch.
All in.
Haxton moves all in with the King 7 suited.
From the big blind, King 7 suited, Haxton with 20 big blinds left, and he pushes.
Stern with a pocket pair.
Well, now, if Stern thinks he's up against 2 overcards, I assume he'll call. If he thinks he's up against a bigger pocket pair, of course he'll muck.
I call.
He's going to make this his moment, and he calls. And it's a coin toss for $6.5 million.
Yeah, Haxton, the chip leader at the start of the day, needs to win a race to stay alive.
That's good. Basically, that is a good thing. 50% of the time it works every time.
Haxton supporters know the score.
Stern in for about 2/3 of his chips.
Donnie trying to win this coin flip with the help of his fellow online players.
Haxton, with his tournament life at risk, has to feel happy that at least he's got a coin flip with his King 7.
All right, and now the flop. It is 6 straight ace. Haxton with 4 clubs to a flush.
That's exciting.
Stern has a different word in mind.
That's like 50-50 still.
Haxton actually now a slight favorite to stay alive with his overcards in the flush draw. Stern still has the best hand with pocket 5s. Justin Bonomo looking queasy as his friend Isaac is still on the edge.
All right, now the turn card. And it's a club! Haxton doubles up with a flush.
Huge blow to Donnie Stern.
Justin Bonomo loves it. But not more than Isaac Haxton, who's back in the game.
Stern now with about 10 big blinds left.
Wow, and his rooters are suddenly silent. Several times at this final table, Donnie Stern has fought back, but this is going to be one tough hill to climb.
Very unlucky, friend.
Raymer trying to commiserate with Stern. That's like one time someone asked for my autograph when I was leaving family court. It's nice and all, but you really don't want to hear it.
Good time to not miss.
Indeed. Haxton just hopes those good times keep coming at this final table.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky, 40K Championship.
Back at the Rio in this special $40,000 no-limit Hold'em Championship, only 3 eliminations away from awarding our first bracelet of the 09 World Series. Isaac Haxton, fresh from his double-up through Donnie Stern. That hand left Stern crippled, and he's the first to act now, and he looks down at Queen 10 offsuit.
You know, with Queen 10 and so few chips left, it's either muck it or push it.
And Donnie opts for the all-in.
Stern still feeling the after effects of the Haxton hand. Will take a stand here.
Lunkin says no thanks to those cards.
I would have played it.
Haxton with ace-king.
Well, just the ace or the king would have been good enough to call. With the ace-king, he's considering a raise with Greg Raymer still behind him.
I call.
Yeah, he does just make the call.
So Stern will be at risk.
Raymer. Jack 10.
I would have called, but I fold.
Jack 10 offsuit.
So Haxton crippled Stern. Now trying to knock him out with ace-king.
And now Stern, looking weathered, needs to turn the lucky tables on Haxton to stay alive.
Yeah, one of Stern's 10s already in the muck. Greg Raymer folded it. Justin Bonomo and friends on their feet. Haxton's not making it easy on him.
Stern looks like he's trying to will a queen or 10 out of that deck.
And now the flop. 5 Jack deuce. That is no help to Donnie Stern.
Haxton in good shape. It's a 5 Jack deuce, Justin. And Donnie Stern knows exactly what it is. He's 2 cards from elimination.
Turn card, another deuce. Haxton still best.
Stern needs a queen or a 10, or he's our 4th place finisher.
River card is another deuce. That won't do it. Haxton wins the hand and eliminates Donnie Stern in 4th place. He'll win over $548,000.
You're going to see you a lot at these tables.
Sorry for the outburst when I hit that flush.
Well, the poker coach charges $650 an hour. That's pocket change compared to what he made here.
And he gets some consolation from his buddies.
That qualifies as a rush.
think it does.
Yeah, Haxton rides that rush back to the top of the leaderboard, much to the delight of his friend Justin Bonomo, who has a strong rooting interest in Haxton, one that runs deeper than their friendship.
Ike and I have been best friends ever since we both moved to Panorama, and he's an awesome guy. I love Ike.
Yeah, we went out to the hot tub last night after we got back from the tournament, and then we end up playing against each other for huge stakes.
I'm all in. Cool. Panorama Towers is this set of condo buildings where there's like 80 poker players that live there.
Antonio Sfondiari, Phil Locke,
Dave Williams and Ev Linning,
Barry Greenstein, Joe Seabach, so many. I can't even begin to list them all. Justin has booked a bet with various people where he is offering 7-to-1 odds that someone from Panorama Towers will win a bracelet at this World Series.
I can't say exactly how much money I have on this Panorama prop bet, but I will say that if I lose, it will be a significant portion of my bankroll. I've never lost in my life.
He's got a list of 43 players who are living there who count towards this bet. I think it's nearly a lock.
If we win in the first event, that would just be so sick.
Are you figuring this all out as you go?
I count toward the betting that if I win the bracelet, he wins.
I'll bet again.
It's kind of like embarrassing to be the loser that just sticks around to watch.
Good luck. Thank you.
But at the same time, I really want to see my buddy Isaac win it.
Boy, that Panorama Towers is Melrose Place with antes. Justin, one of 3 Panorama residents who made this final table. Lex Velduis also was knocked out, so it's up to Isaac.
Chip stacks are very close. It's like we're starting over three-handed. The payouts, though, are not close. Third place gets $775,000. The winner, nearly $1.9 million.
Vitaly, you've got 8?
Huh?
8 million?
About.
Yeah.
And you?
8 million. I think we're all like dead even.
It's a three-way tie.
Raymer now in position to have a main event title, and this title, the largest buy-in no-limit event in World Series history. He was a patent lawyer, for crying out loud.
Raymer with pocket 5s.
Raymer trying to push his way up the short list of greats at the World Series of Poker.
And Raymer raises it to $400,000. Lunkin in the small blind looks down at 4 tray.
Lunkin runs a dietary supplement business, and he could win this thing.
He folds over to Isaac Haxton. Pocket 9s.
Then there's Isaac, the Ivy Leaguer. Could he just gone out and gotten a good job like they all do?
Haxton. That's more than a call. He pushes back, a raise to $1.25 million.
Well, of course, we know this is not a good spot for Fossil Man.
But he has seen the range of hands that Haxton will move with.
I'm all in.
Wow. Over the top, all in.
Now he puts Haxton to the test. Remember, these 2 players have about identical chip stacks.
That was the plan, I call.
And a call. Not what Raymer was hoping to hear.
You're ahead.
Raymer could have folded there with little harm. He pushed, and he's in trouble, and Bonomo likes the looks of his prop bet now.
Absolutely. Haxton way ahead. And Lunkin prepared for a heads-up battle.
I'm still not going to use my one time. I'm expecting the final table of the main event, so I'm not going to use my one time.
Raymer with a misstep there, and it could be fatal. He had 50 big blinds left, plenty to play with, and it's all in the middle in a flash.
Here's the flop, King 10 Queen. Raymer left with just a pair of 5s and wishful thinking.
There are worse flops.
Well, that's an optimistic spin. Raymer on the edge now.
Haxton still in great shape. 2 cards to come. Turn card is a trade. No help to Raymer.
I thought I did it for a second.
Yeah, I know. That was awfully small. The blur. But it was red, so it couldn't be the 5.
Lunkin just 1 card away from being heads up for the bracelet. Raymer's got to be thinking, how am I 1 card away from being out of here? He has to hit a 5.
The river card is a tray. Haxton wins the pot, knocking out Greg Raymer in 3rd place. Bonomo loves it.
Yes.
Well, Greg Raymer keeps telling the poker world, I belong.
He'll win almost $775,000 for 3rd place. And now Isaac Haxton is ready to go heads up for the bracelet against the Russian Vitaly Lunkin. Everyone excited except Greg Raymer.
You just took on 200 of the best players in the world. You're 2 players away from the title, from the bracelet, from $1.9 million. I'm extremely disappointed, but if I play my best and it doesn't work out,
Well, that's what the next tournament's for.
And for Greg, that next tournament, the Champions Invitational, is just steps away. But our focus will be on the Russian Vitaly Lunkin versus the American Isaac Haxton. The first bracelet of this World Series is on the line. And then there were two. Isaac Haxton and Vitaly Lunkin will now go heads up for $1.9 million.
That makes me so happy.
And this special $40K title. Welcome back to the Rio and the 40th Annual World Series of Poker. We are down to heads up for our first bracelet of 2009, and we have two competitors from opposite sides of the globe. Vitaly Lunkin seemingly has all of Russia behind him as he tries to come from behind with a chip count of 7.2 million, while the chip leader, American Isaac Haxton, has nearly 17 million.
And it feels like there is a third party in this heads-up match, as Justin Bonomo and his bet are only one Isaac Haxton hand away from paying off.
What a bracelet this would be to win. A powerful field of 201 no-limit hold'em players came out. Now just two left. Action on Lunkin and on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky.
Beef Jerky.
Pocket cam. He looks down at 8-5 offsuit.
Lunkin once was a Renju world champion. You must have done some Renju broadcasts, Lon.
Yeah, kick-started my career. 8-5 offsuit. A raise from Lunkin to 400,000. Haxton with an ace, ace-9.
Man, that panorama towers, Lon. I wonder if, like, Badoogie games break out in the laundry room there.
Haxton makes the call. And now the flop. 7-10 deuce. Ace high for Haxton is good for the lead.
Renju, by the way, is a variant of Gomoku. I used to play a street Gomoku game in an alley near 7-Eleven.
Isaac checks, as does Lunkin. All right, now the turn card. And is a 9. That hits Haxton, a pair of 9s. Lunkin picks up an up and down straight draw. Haxton checks again.
Renju is actually a board game with black and white stones. You want to get all your stones in a row, like in life?
Lunkin looking to bet there, yeah. Pushes out $500,000 with his draw.
Yeah, Lunkin will take a shot at it with those flush and straight draws.
And Haxton makes the call with his pair of 9s.
You know, it's starting to feel like a Cold War.
River card now is a 6, and Lunkin hits his straight.
The 6 of hearts is also the best river card you can hit in Renju, but surprisingly not in Gomoku.
Really? I did not know that. Haxton checks a third time. And now Lunkin, with that made straight, can pounce.
Raise.
Now he says raise, but it's a bet, $1.5 million.
Almost a pot-sized bet. Lunkin's betting strong, so he might appear to be weak, even though he is strong. Textbook Soviet tactic.
Call. And a call from Haxton with a pair of 9s. And boy, Lunkin had that straight hidden with the 8-5, and he will take this pot.
Haxton decided to look him up and didn't like what he ended up seeing. There's got to be stricter immigration laws here in Nevada.
Well, outside the main event, this is one of the biggest first-place prizes in World Series history. It awaits either Isaac Haxton or Vitaly Lunkin, nearly $1.9 million U.S. Norman. Action begins on Haxton. The blinds up to 100,000, 200,000. King, tray of clubs.
Heads up, all about reading your opponent, getting a feel for their tendencies.
A raise to 400,000. And it's about getting good cards, too, like pocket 10s.
Lunkin started playing poker 8 years ago, got serious 3 years ago, and got good in a hurry.
Raise.
Raise.
Lunkin announces raise, and he means raise this time. 1.4 million total.
Well, Isaac had made a min raise, and now Vitaly makes a real man's raise.
All in.
All in.
Bad read. Haxton figures he can make Lunkin, a tight player, go away by making him risk all his chips, but Vitaly's hand is much stronger than he thinks.
Call.
And a call, and Haxton hates to hear that. His king tray against the pocket 10s of Lunkin.
Yeah, Lunkin in great shape here to double up. Haxton being pretty capricious with Justin Bonomo's financial future.
The Russians like the fact that their man's ahead, but he still is at risk.
Yeah, if Isaac can spike a king, he'll be in great shape to win the bracelet.
All right, here's the flop. Lunkin all in. And there's a 10 that all but closes out this hand for Vitaly.
The Russians haven't celebrated like this since they launched a monkey into space.
Haxton nearly drawing dead, and Justin Bonomo certainly knows that.
That's not my flop.
Looks like the chip stacks are going to get reversed. Haxton would need running straight cards to win this hand and the title.
Now the turn card, it's a jack. Haxton drawing dead. Lunkin is now the dominating chip leader.
I believe Vitaly said, please don't kiss me.
Haxton loses half his stack to Lunkin, and now is a 2-1 underdog.
And that prop bet is going to have to wait for Justin.
Vitaly Lunkin takes the chip lead and the momentum, and he's in great position to take down this prestigious title.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Player of the Year.
Last year, Eric Lindgren finally won his first bracelet. And he joined another elite group, World Series of Poker Player of the Year. Joining Negreanu, Cunningham, Madsen, and Schneider. Who will it be this year?
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
The battle for the 2009 Player of the Year is on.
That's what I'm talking about.
And at the end of the main event, someone will join this elite group and be crowned the 2009 Player of the Year. Throughout the duration of the World Series, the Rio Poker Room is always filled with events going on. As an invitational, the Champions event does not count towards Player of the Year. And after his exit from the 40K, Greg Raymer is ready to take his rightful place among the former champions. If he thought the 40K was tough, well, he's sitting now with Phil Hellmuth, Johnny Chan, and Chris Jesus Ferguson.
But I guess I still have half my stack, so.
15 players are left in that tournament. I guess Raymer's Fossil was doing its job.
I hear that Fossil is great at post-flop play.
Back to the 40K event. The champion here will be the early front runner in the Player of the Year standings. Lunkin with the upper hand with 17 million chips. Haxton looks down at King 10 suited.
When he was a computer science major, he said he got tired of staring at a computer all day. Now he plays online poker and stares at a computer all day. I don't think he's as smart as he looks.
A raise to 400,000. Vitaly Lunkin with pocket aces.
Pocket ace is also a good hand in Renju.
He's got to be thinking bracelet right now, doesn't he, with those cards? Oh, but he just calls.
Yeah. Don't trust these Russians. You know, there's a reason there used to be nuclear testing sites here in Nevada.
Now the flop and a king for Isaac. Boy, that should really light up the betting.
Well, that's a great flop for Lunkin because Haxton hit just enough of it, but Isaac is way behind with those kings.
Lunkin checked his aces. And now Haxton with top pair. That's 525,000.
Raise.
Logan's going to come back over the top. A raise to 1.45 million.
Lunkin's got him trapped. Where is CIA Special Ops when you need them?
Haxton makes the call. How can you not here? Turn card. 6 of spades. No improvement for Haxton.
Raise.
And Lunkin will bet this here. 1.5 million.
That's a pretty small bet into this pot.
He wants a call at least.
All in.
All in and a call, and Lunkin with aces could end this 40K event right now.
Lunkin 1 card away from winning the special title. Bonomo looks like he ate some bad borscht.
Lunkin so close to making a big splash to start this World Series.
Dare I say one time?
This would be a good time to use my one time. 10, one time.
We're going to use the one time here.
No, one time. What?
Well, Isaac Haxton 1 time needs a king or a 10, or Vitaly Lunkin is our champion.
Here's the river card. One time.
That was the governor, Justin Bonomo, the governor on line 1.
Wow, Vitaly Lunkin and his Russian friends cannot believe it.
Take that, you commies.
Lunkin getting a pep talk from his friend. He was one card from the title. He's left with just over 10 million chips, trailing the chip leader Isaac Haxton.
I guess that's my one time.
And now Isaac hopes it's his time for a bracelet.
The 2009 World Series of Poker is presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. And in part by WSOP.com. Get official items for your home poker game at WSOP.com.
Back at the Rio, where for the second time tonight, Greg Raymer's been eliminated from a tournament.
It's better than a book. Guys, it was a pleasure. The few hands I played. Good job, Greg.
He is out of the Champions Invitational, taken down by 0-1 main event champion Carlos Mortensen.
Hey, you keep playing bad, you keep getting knocked out. I've never been busted from 2 tournaments in one day.
All right, let's get back to our special 40K No Limit Hold'em Championship. Isaac Haxton now with a chip lead in this roller coaster heads-up battle. He looks down at Queen 8.
This is the 3rd straight year Haxton has made a World Series final table, and this is only the 3rd year he's played at the World Series.
A raise to $400,000 for Haxton with Queen 8, Queen 10 for Lunkin.
Lunkin just won the biggest event on the Russian poker tour, worth $450,000.
A raise from Lunkin. It's putting pressure on Haxton. It'll cost Haxton $1 million more to stick around.
Well, Lunkin has Isaac dominated here.
Call. And he makes the call. So Lunkin has the best of it yet again pre-flop. And here's the flop. It is 4-5 ace, all clubs. Lunkin holds the biggest pocket club with that queen.
Yeah, that flop is more bad news for Haxton.
Lunkin first to act.
Hey, English only, pal.
Even when you talk to yourself?
Yes, at the table.
2 million.
2 million from Lunkin.
All in.
Haxton moves all in again.
I call.
And a call.
Now, again, Haxton says all in. Again, Lunkin has the better hand. And they have pushed all their chips into the middle, each with just queen high and a club draw.
Lunkin's tournament on the line, but he's ahead right now.
It's been ugly for Isaac, and I think Justin Bonomo is throwing up in his mouth a little.
All right, now the turn card. Lunkin hoping to hang on. Oh! And 8 pairs Haxton, and he turns the tables.
One time strikes again, and now Isaac Haxton 1 card from the bracelet.
Wow.
Haxton now better than a 3-1 favorite. Vitaly Lunkin needs a 10 or a club, or the bracelet is Isaac Haxton's.
River card. Oh, it's a club! The better flush for Vitaly Lunkin, and he takes control again.
It's Haxton's turn to feel the river pain. And we can now confirm that Justin Bonomo has indeed thrown up. We need a cleanup crew to the final table area. Stat.
Oh, what a heads-up battle. Lunkin now just this close from a bracelet after Haxton could almost feel it on his wrist.
Well, justice was served. The Cold War continues. Lunkin now with a commanding chip lead.
Well, Norman, twice now we thought we were going to award the first of 57 bracelets of this World Series, but we continue heads up. Lunkin with over 18 million, Haxton with just over 6 million. And Lunkin once again with pocket aces.
Pocket aces twice in heads up? That's not fair.
And he just limps in with another 100,000.
Lunkin said he's never seen stronger players than in this event, and as it turns out, Lunkin might be the strongest of them all.
8 tray for Haxton.
No, 8 tray off. Doesn't beat a whole lot of starting hands.
Well, maybe he'll try to end the hand right here with a raise to 800,000.
He gets frisky at the wrong time. That is not going to end the hand against pocket aces.
Vitaly limped with his aces, now just calls with the aces.
Lunkin again will slow play those aces.
Lunkin way ahead as we go to the flop, and it is queen at 10-8, all diamonds. His aces are still best, but Haxton picked up a pair of 8s and a flush draw.
Yeah, this time Haxton hits a bigger part of that flop. That's a pretty good flop for Isaac.
You see the percentages now. It's pretty much even. After what was a rout pre-flop, Haxton bets 1.2 million.
That's not a trouble-free flop for Lunkin's aces. He does not have a diamond, plus there's a straight draw out there.
All in.
Moves all in with the aces.
Oh, and Isaac Haxton, this would be for all his chips. He's in a tricky spot here. In his mind, his bottom pair might be best right now, and even if it isn't, he's got a flush draw.
Call. He calls and will put himself at risk again.
You've got to give Vitaly Lunkin props. Each time all the money's gone into the middle, he's had the better hand.
Can Isaac pull more magic from the deck?
Isaac Haxton exasperated. Justin Bonomo, I believe, is one step from a support group.
Reflecting the sentiments of everyone here at the Rio.
This is pretty much a coin flip. Either Lunkin wins the bracelet or we're about even in chips again.
Turn card now. 7 of clubs, no help to Haxton, but he's not toast yet.
Come on, Diamond.
The Panorama Towers group about a 2-to-1 dog. Haxton needs an 8, a 3, or a diamond. Otherwise, Vitaly Lunkin wins this $40K title.
River card is a king, and Lunkin puts it away and wins his second bracelet. A hard-fought battle, but Isaac came up short. He wins nearly $1.2 million.
Lunkin with 2 bracelets, first against a huge field, now against the most prestigious field.
Played very well.
Don't worry, Justin. You've got 50 more events to win the prop bet.
The worst part is wasting the one time as well.
That's not what Bonomo's thinking.
Unfortunately, using the one time.
How do I nail the one time and still not win the tournament?
Yeah.
But for Vitaly Lunkin, it's now 2 times. His second bracelet worth nearly $1.9 million, much to his supporters' delight.
Second bracelet. No, I didn't.
When the final table of this special 40K No Limit Hold'em Championship began, all eyes were on a couple of champions and the young guns. But as the fireworks flew and the players began to fall, the aggressive Russian Vitaly Lunkin waited for his moment to pounce.
All in.
In the end, Lunkin claimed his second career bracelet, nearly $1.9 million and a whole lot of bragging rights.
Vitaly, on behalf of the World Series of Poker, it is my great pleasure to present to you your second WSOP gold bracelet.
Congratulations, Vitaly Lunkin, the winner of the first bracelet of the 2009 World Series of Poker. For Norman Chad, I'm Lon McCarron. We'll see you next time as the 40th Annual World Series of Poker rolls on.